Hello, it's the Beginner Crafter. Welcome to another wrap up of the year. This time it's year 2022, and it's like a floss tube and crochet and craft tube combined together. And I will show all the projects I've worked on, at least the ones I could remember and found to have worked on throughout this year. And I'll show my WIPs that I've also worked on throughout this year, and I'll talk about the plans for the next year. I'm sure there will be the WIPs that I'll be continuing, but also some new things, or maybe return to other things. So let's move on with everything. So the first project I want to share is the blanket. The Beatrix blanket that took me a lot of time, a bigger part of the year. But it's finished. So this is the way it looks. And I think it will be a nice background for every other thing that I've worked on and finished. So let's start. Well, one project that I really wanted to show you, but I really have no idea where it is the meadow bag that I started a long time ago, and I managed to finish it this year, but it's not here. It's nowhere in my apartment, at least I really can't find it. So I guess I'll just clip the video of it from where I finished it. Yes, it's the bag that I started, I think, 2 years ago. I know for a while I just put it somewhere and I didn't really know where it was, but after I found it, I really don't know why I put it for so long, that I pushed it and never really worked on it, because it was really a quick thing to do. It's beautiful. I love it. The only thing, I made a mistake. I did not listen to the pattern. And, listen to the pattern. The designer usually knows what they're doing, and they have testers, so they know what they're writing about. I made this strap too long. I was always worried that it will be too short, that it will sit really weird somewhere on my stomach instead of my hip. And now the bag sits below my hip, and especially if I put something in there and it will just make the strap stretch a little bit, it will be even lower. Okay, the next project are the socks from Bella Coco's Crochet Society box. It's a box from a really long time ago. I don't remember which number it is. They're nice and soft and squishy, made with quite thick yarn, and they are really soft and warm, so really good for winter time. I also finished the sweater. This was Schapies Make Along from, I believe, last year. I think it started sometime around November, maybe early December, and it took me a little longer as usual because I had to make some adjustments, but it's finished, and it's also very, very warm, which is also good. for the weather this time around. So this is the sweater. I do hope to make another one in the future because I really like the way it feels. I liked doing it. I just need to find a different yarn, possibly better quality than the one I've used. So maybe it's Hapius, but that's sometime maybe in the future. But I really liked it, and I don't remember now if you had to buy I think you had to buy the pattern for the sweater, but it wasn't very expensive, so you can also try your hand at it. It seems it might be a bit difficult at first, especially if you haven't done any garments, but it works up pretty well. I was surprised at how well it went, even though I made some mistakes. I had to make some adjustments. I did get confused a few times, but it's not something really terrible and terribly difficult, so I guess you can make it as well. And that's my finish, one of my finishes of the year. And another one was actually a knitting project, and that was a scarf. That's again one of the Hapius designs. This was a make along, and I remember it started in January, but I think it started in 2020 or 2021. 2021, it wasn't that early. So yeah, 2021, and this was the first thing I ever knitted, so that's already a big thing for me. And I finished it this year. It's done. I don't think I've actually worn it yet. I don't think that there was a need for an extra scarf. I have a coat with high color, so I don't usually wear scarves, so I didn't really have the need to wear this one, but it's just pretty, and it was nice to make, and it made me start like knitting. I was never able as a child to learn to knit. I tried a few times, but I could never get my head around it. But this project actually made me stick to knitting and actually kind of like it. So I hope to make some knitting projects in the future, mainly because of this scarf, because the result is really beautiful. I also made this angel figurine. I did not hang it on my Christmas tree because I actually don't have a Christmas tree this year. I didn't have the need. It's mostly cross stitching, but there was some cutting and gluing, so I can have it as a craft thing as well. I guess you could also do something like, oh yes, I remember. What you were supposed to do was to get this out as well, but like bend it and put a small candy inside to make it into like a project. I mean, not a project, a present or a gift box, if you will. So that was also something you could do with that. And another craft that I did was finally finishing the diamond painting that I also started a long time ago, possibly 2019, even maybe 2020, the universe. It's not completely finished, as you can see from the washi tapes here. It is fully diamond, I guess you can say, but I still have to use Mod Podge on it to make it a bit more durable, and I finally found my Mod Podge, which is great. I did make some cleaning in the house because of the new year, and I wanted to reorganize some stuff, and I found a lot of things that I wanted to make or finish. So Mod Podge is one of the things I will be able to use to fully complete this diamond painting and have it really possibly unable to lose any of the diamonds. Then I've got cross stitch that I finished this year, and that's first the 2021 black work stitch along for 2021. I actually started to think maybe I should start stitching dates which year which one was, so that I know in which order to post them later on. And I also want to see the progression of different designs and also my abilities to do black work. So I think I'll stitch the year, but I think I finished it this year actually. So that's also a finish. Then I finished the Hogwarts crest, which was also one of my first projects, and it's fully finished with also back stitching in it as well. I also tested a pattern for someone, so that's a mandala stitching, and it's really cute. Really nice colors, I really like those. And I like the design. I just have to think about how to use it as decoration, where to put it, and how to present it. I also finished the Virgo, which is my first project, my first cross-stitch project that I worked on throughout this channel, the existence of the channel. So this is a huge step to have that big piece of cross-stitching, a full coverage, a lot of pages, a lot of stitches finished. It took me about 3 years, but it's a great thing. It is a great thing to be able to work on it and to have finished it. And it gave me confidence that I can do such large projects, which will kind of show in my WIPs that I still have to work on. So now when it comes to things I want to do in 2023, and by do I mean hopefully finish. There are some things I should be able to finish throughout the year, but also some things that I will just make progress on because they are a very, very long-term projects. So first, there's a Pikachu that I also started very early on. I think somewhere around the time when I started my channel, and I need to sew the legs, arms, the tail. I need to stick the eyes and ears. The problem is I've lost some of the pieces of Pikachu, so I'll have to make a few more because there's no way I can find them now because those appendages got lost possibly in the old apartment, and if they got lost in the old apartment, that means they'll never get found. But this is something I would like to finish this year, to also have another project from the early days of the channel finished. I also have Easter egg to finish. I hope this will fit. Yes, this is something I remember working on during the channel, showing you the cross stitching of it and my fight with the metallic yarn. And I found all 4 pieces, and I found the egg, the styrofoam egg, so I want to finish it before Easter time, and have it as a decoration during Easter. Another project is from Bella Coco's Crochet Society, and I remember it's supposed to be a bear and something like a hook stand, and these are the 3 pieces I have. I couldn't yet locate the exact box and the booklet where it talks about how to make it, so I still wasn't able to finish it. I'm not exactly sure if this is all I need. It is possible, but I'm not exactly sure. But I would like to finish it, because if it's the last thing to do is to sew everything together, then it's something like with the meadow bag. It's almost finished, and it will take me months or years to actually do it when it's so close to finishing. So I do want to finish it next year, because, well, this year actually, it's already 2023. I also want to make it into a finish year. I want to have some finishes this year, so that I can do more projects, focus on those new projects, and not have this kind of missing things by being in my sort of project basket and just making me feel guilty about not working on them and tangling up with other projects. So that, but also there's the owl that also needs basically stitching the wings onto the body and stitching up the head, and I think that was it. Maybe a bit of like cross stitching or just stitching, and that's it, and that should be finished. But I also haven't got around to do it for a really long time, so I hope to do it in 2023. Also, that was also something I was making during the channel. The Christmas ball, like a big Christmas bubble. I found the ball, I have the fabric, I just need to cut everything and make it onto this ball, and hopefully I'll be able to make it before next Christmas so that I have another ornament for Christmas time and be able to do things with it, and again not have this guilty feeling that I have a project waiting for me to be done. And another project I've been working on and is not fully finished is this Mexican lace, I think it was called, pillowcase. So I've cross-stitched and back-stitched this part, but now I have to sew it onto the fabric to make it into an actual pillowcase. So that's also something I want to do during this year, to have it completely finished, because it's so close to also be able to finally actually use it, because it's something not just for decoration, like to be hanged or put somewhere. It can actually be used in general. I remember at first when I was doing it, I wasn't very convinced about the colors, because those warm colors are not really my thing. I prefer colors like you can see in the blanket, the greens, the blues, the purples. These are too warm for me, but in my study I have much warmer tones, especially when it comes to the color of the wall and the furniture. So I think this would fit nicely onto a sofa in the study. So that's where I can put it and actually use it. And now, of course, I've got all my works in progress when it comes to cross-stitching. And I can talk about the goals for my cross-stitching as well for the 2023. So this is the 2022 black work stitch along by Peppermint Purple. I still need to fill the December fillers and of course write 2022, and I want to make the 2023 stitch along. I have only printed out the layout and the borders, the files. I still need to prepare the fabric. I have the threads that I need, but I can't really start working on it yet. I first want to finish this year, 2022, so last year, and then move on to 2023. But I want to make for another year another Peppermint Purple's stitch along, black work stitch along. So the project that I have is Mini Marvelous Garden, also known as the Peacock, and I have finished the goal for it, which is great, and I've stitched over 16,000 stitches on it so far in total, and I'm at 30%, 30.04% to be exact. So the goal for 2023 with this project is to finish page 3, because I'm on page 2 now. I still have to fill a lot of page 2, as you can see, and then I've got page 3 to finish. It's not like a full page. There's I think 9 rows, I think, thinner than the other pages. So I think this goal is quite possible to achieve. I should be around 50% then, because the whole peacock, well, no, actually no, I thought it was 6 pages, but it's actually 9 pages, although pages 7, 8 and 9 are not even like half a page. But finishing page 3 may not get me to half of the project, although I have quite a lot of stitches done on page 4 and a bit on page 5 as well, so it should be somewhere around 50%. But that's the goal for the next year. I don't think I will finish the project next year. I will, however, try to again outreach the goal, to move over onto page 4, to do quite a lot of it, so that for the next year of 2024 I could possibly think about maybe finishing the picture. It is quite a small picture because it's just slightly over 54,000 stitches. So I would hope to finish it pretty quickly if it's possible, because it is one of the smaller projects. Then I've got Miranda, which was Heaven and Earth Designs. Now I think all my projects are from Heaven and Earth Designs. Miranda is one of the first projects I started when making the channel, and I'm quite amazed at the progress I've made on it, and I think I want to make Miranda my focus piece for now, because it being the oldest project, but also quite a big project because it's almost 219,000 of stitches. It needs to be worked on quite a lot. And I've made almost 40,000 stitches, so that's a little over 18%. It's 18.24%. So really not not a lot. The goals for Miranda are that I get to 20%, then I do cleanup of the parked threads. I start working with the colors that I have parked and stitch whatever there is to stitch with those threads. Then after I've done that, because I think getting to 20%, I mean, it will take me a while, but I think it will be before I finish this page that I'm currently at. Then I will go back to this page and try to clean it to make it a full page, and also try to get a bit of this page done. And I also would really like to get most of this page done. And I'm saying this page because it is a bit more difficult with Miranda to say which page number it is, because this is the piece where I made a mistake, a big mistake, when cutting the fabric. When I cut the fabric, I thought it would be for the peacock, for the Mini Marvelous Garden, and I cut it too small because I looked for the sizes for the peacock. But I started stitching Miranda on it, and only after a few hundred stitches I realized that's the wrong size of fabric. I didn't want to unravel everything, frog everything, so I went on with it. But I will need to add a piece of fabric there, and also possibly at the bottom, and try to save it this way. I hope it works, but first I want to do everything that I can on this fabric that I have, and then I will move to the other pages. So I have 4 pages in the first row, then there should be 3 more, so that would make it page 9, and that page 10, I guess. So I want to get to page 11 and do most of it as well during this year. The perfect thing would be if I finished this row this year. And I think I will make it my goal, actually, to push myself a bit more. This is my focus piece, so I really want to push forward to make as much as I can on this project. It still will not get anywhere near, I think, even 30%. Well, maybe 30%, but that's it. So still a lot of stitches to be made, so I want to actually finish the row. And by finish, I don't necessarily mean have all the stitches made. I can do with some whites like I have in here, although this one should get cleaned up once I get to making to stitching on that page. But it's not like I have to put every stitch in the row, but I want to have a really large portion of those pages finished. So this page will get cleaned up, and I don't want to have this many white areas in all those 4 pages. This will not mean it's a complete row. I need to have less white on those pages to consider the row finished as my yearly goal. I hope that's clear what I need to do. Okay, and the third big project that I have, actually it's the third project that I have, and that's Avarice. Avarice is a huge project. It's something that will take me years. I have more or less finished page 1. There is a bit of white here and here. I want to do page 2 this year. Avarice is a picture that has in total 240,000 stitches. I've stitched this year 10,841, so that's 4.5%. I want to get to about 10%. So that would actually mean I need to stitch on page 2 and move over either to page 3 or to make some stitches below that page, because I think 10 is a really nice number to be able to stitch on. It is quite possible because I started Avarice in August and I made almost 11,000 stitches, so to get to 10% I need to get to 24,000, so I'm almost halfway there, and I have a full year. But I did focus a lot on Avarice, especially in the first weeks of me making it, so that's definitely something that helped stitching as much. But I think throughout 12 months I should be able to get to those 24,000 stitches and hopefully do a bit more, because once I get to 10,000 stitches I want to start making the second picture in the series of 7 Deadly Sins, and that is Envy. So I'd like to start Envy this year, 2023. I do not have any other projects in mind for the year to start. I think I will start some, just because there usually will be something nice to make, to create, to have. Something will definitely catch my eye, so I want to be able to give myself that time to do it. So there should be something else happening this year. And also what I want to do, and that's another finish to be made this year, is the fairy that I've been stitching on. Well, no, the fairy that I've finished cross stitching in theory. What I still need to do is to put beads. I have already ordered the beads, so they will be coming. I've managed to find a company that sells Mill Hill beads. It's not very easy to find it in my country. However, I think one of the colors is not exactly what it said in the pattern, just because they didn't have that color, but it should be similar enough. What I probably will have to do is to stitch those stitches as well, because I remember at first I thought when you stitch beads you leave those empty and you put the beads onto a thread of the color you should stitch, and that's how you stitch beads. But then I found out that usually this is not the case. Either you leave an empty space, or you bead onto a stitched place, but you use an invisible thread. And because on all the other places I have already cross stitched with a regular thread, I think I'll cross stitch those places as well. I might see how it looks on it without those cross stitched, because maybe the beads will actually cover the whole space anyway, so there won't be much difference between stitched places and unstitched places. So we'll see. I haven't seen the beads yet, they haven't come yet, they are just ordered, but that's also something I want to finish this year and have another finish in 2023. And also the projects are more crafty ones. I want to, for example, do another Kumihimo bracelet. I have what I need. I actually have quite a lot of things for beading, for doing jewelry, for making stitch markers. So I want to do more of that as well this year, so that I use all those things and I just do more crafty things in general. And I also want to make some designing. I have been kind of planning to start designing for the last, I think, 2 years. It was one of the goals, but actually in 2022 I started really feeling that I'm probably ready to do some designing, and I have a few crochet projects kind of in the works. I mean, I'm crocheting them, I'm writing the pattern and testing the pattern myself, and I'm trying to see which yarn looks better with it, which yarn works better with it, tweaking the design a little bit. So it still will be some time before I'm actually ready to show it and post videos with the pattern and the tutorial how to make those, because at least the first few patterns I want to record, make it onto video and show to everyone. But because of that, because I want to spend some time designing, I will not be able to make as many videos with my progress. So I've decided to make some changes to the channel, and I won't be doing floss tube and crochet and craft tube as like separate videos with separate crafts, even though I know I think most people prefer one type of craft and they would prefer to probably see the video just about this kind of craft. But I think it will just be easier for me to work on things without a rigid schedule of now I need to do some cross stitching, now I need to do crochet or other crafts, so that I can make a video every 2 weeks of that same craft. Sometimes I really don't feel like crocheting or doing other crafts or even cross stitching, so I think combining them in a video, sort of like it was at the beginning of the channel, would make things a little bit easier for me. I'll see how it's going, I guess, for the next few months, and if it doesn't really work, any better than it used to, I guess I'll get back to floss tube and crochet and craft tube. But for now, I'm thinking of WIP tube for all the works in progress that I'm doing, and I'm showing the progress of. And I think I will be making those videos every 2 weeks so that I have a bit more time to create things, but also to design things and test things that I won't be able to share with everyone for a while, so I can't really show them to you. So I think I'll be making the videos every 2 weeks. Once I'm ready to post a video with a project, with a tutorial, this will be an extra video in that month. So I think that should work better for me, especially for the first few months of the year, because until April, May, I will have quite a lot of work, my regular work at school and giving private lessons. After that, it should be easier. I should have more time because the exams will have started and finished, and some groups I will no longer have because they will have graduated. So I should have more time to do all the crafty things. And also soon there will be holidays, summer holidays for July and August, so maybe then I will be able to post more. But so that I'm not just stressed out with something that's mainly a hobby and something that should be made for fun and to be relaxed, I've decided to switch to a WIP tube every 2 weeks. So I will be posting every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, I think. That's the plan for now. And in months with 3 Wednesdays, if the video falls on the first Wednesday of the month, then the third, then there will be a video on the 5th Wednesday of the month, but in the next month it will be the 2nd and the 4th Wednesday of the month. So it should be every 2 weeks, so sometimes 2 videos per month, sometimes 3 videos per month. If I'm able to make a tutorial or any type of extra video, this will be an extra video. So it will be a 3rd or a 4th video per month. So that's the idea for the year, and that's the plan for the future. I want to thank everyone who have joined me so far, who have watched the videos, who have subscribed to my channel. It's nice to read the comments. Not there are a lot of them, but they are still very nice, and I hope that what you write in them is quite true and that you really like those videos, and I hope to bring some more videos that you will like to watch and you will enjoy, and I hope to make more things. It's really motivating to work knowing that some people want to see it and like what I'm posting, so it really gives me a boost of confidence as well that what I'm doing is alright, and it is good enough, I guess, to post it. So thank you for being here, visiting my channel from time to time, and I hope there will be more of you, and more of you will be returning. So if you've liked the video, please leave a thumbs up, it's really appreciated. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, to see all the progress in all the things that I will be doing, and then you will be, I guess, informed that I've posted a tutorial, for example, for a pattern of mine. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Have a happy new year. All the best. Bye!